Oh, Sarvadharma Sthapakatvam Sarvadharma Swarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishna Te Namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, Pranam. Sri Ramakrishna, he had few words with his disciple Adhar Sen, the deputy magistrate, and telling him that yes, you are in such a good position, you are a deputy magistrate, but don't forget who has put you in that position. That is very crucial. Always remember, do not forget him. Do not forget him who has put you in that position. And then referring to the talk he had with Sharada Charan, consoling him over the death of his son and giving him a piece of advice to overcome that grief, to come out of that grief and start leading the normal life, knowing well that death is inevitable for all of us. For entire creation, death is inevitable for that matter. And after that talk, Sri Ramakrishna again tells Adhar Sen also that all this our coming and going, all men must one day walk down the same path. All men, all the beings, all the creatures, everything in this creation, even the creation itself, has to make an exit. When the Divine Mother decides that enough of this taking care of my own creation, I have created, I have preserved, I have nourished, I have made it to grow, and now is the time for this whole thing to get destroyed, to get dissolved. So this is the piece of advice that Sri Ramakrishna had started giving Adhar Sen. And then he said that during this particular phase of our temporary existence in this creation, whatever momentary existence we have, we should always keep ourselves busy in doing some activity. And it is like Sri Ramakrishna gave that a typical example of people leaving their hometown in the country, coming to Calcutta and start doing the work, start taking up jobs. Exactly in the same way Sri Ramakrishna says that leaving our parental home, leaving our place of origin, leaving our source, we come into this creation for that momentary time frame to do our part, to do our work, to do our activities. And while doing these activities, Sri Ramakrishna says that you should do them speedily. Don't linger on unnecessarily. Do them speedily. Get rid of the work that you have at your hand, but do it sincerely. It is not that you should take any shortcuts or anything. And giving that example of the goldsmith, how he organizes all these resources at one place so that he doesn't waste time in melting the gold to put it in the mold to form the gold ornaments. And once the gold is melted properly, it is filled into the molds, then this goldsmith, he keeps on relaxing, then he may even enjoy a hubble bubble and smoke. Likewise, Sri Ramakrishna said, we should perform our duties speedily. No procrastination, no delaying, no postponements. Just take the task at hand, start doing it sincerely, honestly, in most methodical way, and finish it off. And then, once your work is over, then you can relax forever on the lap of the Divine Mother. And then Sri Ramakrishna also told that while leading this momentary existence, one should also practice the spiritual disciplines in a most dedicated manner, with a firm resolve, not like a half-hearted appeal or a shaken attempt. Okay, I will do this, chant the name of God 108 times. And while chanting the name of God, our mind is always scattered around. Whatever we are doing, whether it is a spiritual discipline, whether it is a japa, where it is chanting the name, whether it is singing the glories of the Lord, whether it is meditation, or whether it is a discrimination between the real and unreal, whatever we are doing, Sri Ramakrishna says, do it with firm resolve. No half-hearted attempts in that. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna had advised others saying. And final word of advice on that particular day was, always keep your mind fixed on God. In the beginning, you must struggle, but later on, as you start practicing, as you start chanting the name of the Lord, you will develop a affinity for that. You will get delight in doing that, and then that won't be any struggle at all. Later on, those same spiritual practices which you have been doing with firm resolve, then you start enjoying them as your pension. Then you need not work, but you keep on getting returns out of the hard work, out of the struggle that you have undertaken in your spiritual disciplines. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, advice and guidance to other saints. And somehow after this particular advice, after these words, other saint, he made his exit from this world just in about 18 months time with the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna. Now Sri Ramakrishna has come to another beloved disciple of his, beloved lay disciple. He was a householder, Surendra. Earlier also he had come to him. Now today, on this 15th April 1883, Surendra is celebrating Annapurna Puja. It is the worship of the Mother Annapurna. Mother Annapurna, she is the goddess of serving food. She is the goddess who arranges for our daily bread and butter, for that matter. She fills our plates with the food that we eat. So that is the puja, that is the worship Surendra is going to perform on this particular day. And his beloved Guru, Sri Ramakrishna, has come to his place. The moment Sri Ramakrishna came to his place, everything was neatly arranged. Sri Ramakrishna went to the place where Mother Annapurna was being worshipped. He offered his pranams, he offered his salutations, and then he sat at the place which was, Surendra had arranged for the gathering of devotees, because he knew that the moment Sri Ramakrishna is coming, it is not that only Sri Ramakrishna will come, make salutations and depart after taking prasad. No, that day he knew that it is going to be a grand gathering. So he had made all the necessary arrangements. The idol, the image of Mother Annapurna was beautifully decorated. And after taking the darshan, after salutations and all, Sri Ramakrishna was taken to a place where the sitting arrangement was made. Now there was a carpet laid down, and there were bolsters to recline on. Now this is a typical thing we see in the houses of aristocrats, in the houses of rich people, in the houses of well-to-do people, that at the sitting place there will be bolsters. Bolster is kind of that long cotton-filled cushion, and the typical gesture is people will just recline on that, putting one hand like this, and they will just enjoy sitting there. So one devotee asked Sri Ramakrishna, use this bolster. And Sri Ramakrishna was against such kind of practices. Bolster, putting hand like this, sitting like an aristocrat, that was not Sri Ramakrishna's way of living at all. And Sri Ramakrishna says, to lean against a bolster? You see, it is very difficult to give up vanity. Sri Ramakrishna says all these practices, all these mannerisms, they bring in vanity. They bring in some kind of me and mine, that the self-importance. Oh, I am such a big man. these simple practices, Sri Ramakrishna says, they kind of inflate your ego for that matter. You see, it is very difficult to give up vanity. You may discriminate, saying that the ego is nothing at all, but still it comes. You may say 100 times, oh, I have killed my ego. You may say 100 times, but still that ego doesn't get killed. It gets hidden somewhere, and then suddenly it springs up. And the gestures like this, reclining against a bolster, leaning against a bolster, and sitting in a high arm chair kind of, these are all the things Sri Ramakrishna says. They create some kind of self-importance in us. And through this self-importance, suddenly the ego springs up. Now, further on to that, Sri Ramakrishna gives an example. He says, a goat's legs jerk for a few moments even after its head has been cut off. During the sacrifice, when they kill a goat, even after cutting the head, the goat's legs, they keep on jerking. It is not that after the life force has gone from that goat, it is all silent. No, there is still some time frame that the feet, the leg, they keep on jerking. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives another example that perhaps you are frightened in a dream. How the ego comes up. Now Sri Ramakrishna is denoting through these two examples. The goat jerking its leg in spite of the head being cut off. We feel the goat is gone. No, but still those legs keep on jerking. The ego is still there, even if we feel it is killed. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of you are frightened in your dream. You see a very bad dream, you are shaken, you are frightened. Perhaps you are frightened in a dream. You shake off sleep and are wide awake. The moment you get that bad dream which has frightened you, you just wake up. You wake up with an alarm. Oh my God, what I am seeing. Now you are out of the dream phase. From the dream phase, you have come to the woken state. You are awake. And Sri Ramakrishna says, even then, in spite you being awake, in spite of you being out of that dream phase, your heart is still palpitating, having seen that horrendous dream, having seen that frightful dream. Your heart is still, you are no more in the dream world. You have come out of it. You are in your present moment. You are sitting on the bed. You know, okay, that was a dream. But in spite of that, the heart still starts pumping so fast. The palpitation is still there and you are still perspiring. You are still not comfortable that the dream is over. Likewise, Sri Ramakrishna says, the ego, even if you are awake, even if you think that, oh, I have killed the ego, that ego is hiding somewhere and it just springs up. Egotism is exactly like that. You may drive it away, but it still appears from somewhere. Then you look sullen and say, what? I have not been shown proper respect. And suddenly you say that I don't have ego, I have killed my ego. But something happens, somebody kind of mistreats you and suddenly your ego just springs up and you say, what? I have not been shown proper respect. How can they do this to me? I am so and so. Internally, you want your ego to be killed, but it never gets killed. That ego is there. Some kind of a disrespect somebody shows you. Some people, they don't pay any attention to you. Some people ignore you and suddenly your ego, it inflates. Oh, I have not been shown proper respect. How can they do this? So that is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, even on such small things, such small gestures, some small mannerisms, that leaning against a bolster or putting a high kind of attitude. These are detrimental for controlling your ego, Sri Ramakrishna says. So Even through such simple instances, he keeps on teaching us that don't get into that vanity. Don't get into those practices which will bolster your ego. You have to remain mother's child. You have to remain the servant of the master. You have to remain the devotee of the deity. How can you expect that ego to remain as the detrimental ego, the harmful ego, the unripe ego? That ego has to be tamed. And then Sri Ramakrishna says that control yourself from all these practices of showing off, controlling your vanity, controlling your outgoing tendencies of showing how important you are. Get rid of all these habits. Be simple. Have simple habits. Don't lean against bolster. Don't recline against a high cushioned chair. No need for that. Just remain simple, be humble, and exhibit your humility. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.